Genothi Seuton, love, peace, blessing, all manner of health, wealth, goodness, healing, abundance, prosperity, love, kindness, every single good, happy, well-being thought and emotion unto you and your family. Genothi Seuton, know yourself, know the truth about yourself, know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. And something good is going to happen to you today. And with the understanding of your sacred space, creating your sacred space, and in creating your sacred space, everything that assists you in that sacred space, sit the sacred space in the center of your kingdom, where you are sovereign and you are building your own personal kingdom. You aren't a servant to anyone else's kingdom. A very, very helpful tool is something that's called soul retrieval. And soul retrieval, very common practice in the shaman discipline, shaman tradition. And the understanding of the soul retrieval is that when we go through traumatic events, either as a young child or anywhere in life, the shamanistic tradition teaches that when you go through something that's quite traumatic, a part of you splinters off, runs away. And the way that they explain that is that the child in you, or a child, awareness of you, leaves you and returns back, returns to Pachamama, returns to Mother Earth, and stays there with her, in the center of the earth, with Pachamama, and the child stays there with her in a safe place. Basically, because the situation, the understanding, the lifestyle, the surrounding that you're living in is toxic. It's just a place that your child, doesn't feel safe there, feels afraid, feels worried, and that part of you leaves. And in doing a soul retrieval, because of the understanding of these different times in life, these different areas in life, sometimes when people do a soul retrieval, they have the powerful experience, but then it's like this child becomes a separate part of them, and almost like like a zombie, not like, similar, it's like another identity that people carry around with themselves, and then begin to speak to and apologize to, when there is drama or stress. And it's all about understanding what one culture understands clearly can be confusing to another. And so to us, it may be like, seeing a stray animal or something and, bringing it, into your home, a cat or a dog, to take care of it. And yet that stray still exists outside of you. And sometimes that's what people do in a soul retrieval. And probably a more complete understanding of soul retrieval is not necessarily for you to go get this child, this past part of you, and say, okay, now it's safe, I'm going to take care of you, I'm going to provide a better living circumstance for you, that you will be able to stay with me now. A better understanding is that you yourself are returning to that child mentality, to that childlikeness. It's like when Yeshua, Jesus, said, unless you become like little children, you'll never enter the kingdom of heaven. And so it's a similar idea. It's not about carrying somebody around with you or putting somebody on your back and giving them a ride through your current life. It's about you returning to that innocent, non-judgmental against others and against yourself, non-judgmental against others and yourself mindset that you had back then. And the idea of that leaving you is really more an idea of you not thinking that way anymore, of you leaving that type of mindset thinking and worldview, so to speak, behind, and becoming kind of like trapped inside yourself, or you build walls to protect yourself because you're afraid of those types of circumstances happening again. And then we know from energy work, the law of attraction, whatever you focus on expands and you attract to yourself. So when we get to a place where we're afraid of something happening to us, there's an attracting force within us that's actually drawing those type of situations to us again. And it can create a numbing effect, when the same thing keeps happening over and over again. We can't figure out why, yet we recognize a recurring pattern, and it becomes the mantra, why does this always happen to me? And thus the understanding of not staying in that type of mentality, of not being trapped anywhere that is not now, and being able to live in the now, in the moment. And Eckhart Tolle is so brilliantly gifted at explaining these things. He does a wonderful job of explaining even the idea of loving yourself. And he's saying, why do you have to create a separate self for you to love? And it's the idea of creating different identities. Well, I am me, and then there's this body me that I love, and I love myself. And what Eckhart Tolle is explaining is that we're all one anyway. The identity of I is already an absolute unconditional acceptance of I. So in that sense, you don't have to make a conscious effort to love yourself. That's already who you are. And again, when you say, loving yourself, you create a self that is a second identity for you to love. It's not complicated or anything, but yet it's the idea, and it's the awareness of me and, an object, which would have to be another me. And so the understanding of holiness, of being whole, is that there is no separation, there is no you living outside of you. You are a whole being, therefore holy. And that's the understanding of your sacred space. Your sacred space is a place of completeness. And in doing this soul retrieval, however you need to do it for yourself symbolically, to be able to identify with, there is, a way of thinking that I was originally programmed with, that the software that I originally came with, the understanding, the mindset, the mentality that was originally installed as my identity, as my being, but later became threatened, and that part of the software wasn't deleted, but it isn't running anymore. It's an app that we stopped tapping on. We didn't activate the app or run the app or tap on the app. It just lies dormant. But the idea of doing a soul retrieval, of regaining that childlike mentality, that childlike influence, that childlike innocent way of seeing the world. And like Einstein was quoted in saying, the most important decision that you can make for yourself is whether you live in a friendly universe or you live in a malevolent universe, an evil universe that is out to get you. And again, because it's your awareness, and it is what you begin to manifest through yourself and through your understanding. It's like I'm sure we've all been around and seen somebody who just radiates luck. Good things are always happening to them. Whenever they compete or are involved in anything, they always win, and it seems so effortless. And because that's their mindset, that's what they expect. That's the universe. That's the childlike innocence that they live in, a friendly universe that is friendly and kind to them. And that's the mentality. That's the understanding. We do a soul retrieval. Again, we're not bringing back this second or lost person that is a part of ourselves. We're actually restoring our own mentality, our own worldview, our own opinion, our own expectancy back to that time before we experienced trauma, before we experienced rejection, before someone told us, no, you can't have that, and created walls and created barriers, that we experienced as places that we can't go or things that we can't have. But when we restore ourselves back to that childlike mentality, and that childlike mentality is running in, I don't want to say in tandem, but at the same time with our experience, where we understand that the process of manifestation takes time. Therefore, the understanding of seed time harvest. We plant a seed and it takes the natural time to grow, and then we reap the harvest. And so it's a more complete understanding as to when we first experience that we can't have something, or we're made to feel like we can't be something, and the understanding of transitioning from where we are right now into something different is a process that takes, or can take, what we understand now as linear time. And of course, in the realm of being, in the realm of being holy and holiness, we already are, because we already are all possibilities. Everything that is possible already exists within us, and thus the understanding the kingdom of heaven is within you. And the kingdom of heaven, the kingdom where everything is possible, everything is what we would consider from a material point of view supernatural, all of that is within us. And while we are in this mentality of linear time, experiencing linear time, and our mentality is going in all different directions, with that understanding, thus we live in an understanding of limits. But again, that's all part of the process. There really are no limits, and manifestation is always immediate. And so doing a soul retrieval, or just simply remembering a time of happiness before any experience of trauma, and recognizing that that is us, that's who we are, that is our mentality, that's who we are collectively in this linear experience, and that we don't have to leave anything behind in the area of our personal God-given inheritance as sons and daughters of the Creator, both male and female, mother and father, who created this earth as a garden paradise for us to experience the learning experience and understanding of energy, and to be able to understand the way energy has an effect in the realm of cause and effect, and to, with our own free will, choose manifestations that are only good and positive, non-toxic, to live a life of ahimsa, to do no harm, and to live our personal, authentic life in a garden paradise that is creating even more garden paradises for all of us to experience and enjoy. So with that, love, peace, blessing, all manner of healing, health, wellness, and goodness unto you. Shalom. Something good is going to happen to you today. Genothi Seutan. Namaste.